Welcome to TradingLounge and the European Indices, and starting with the DAX here on the weekly chart, and we're looking at this wave 3 over here, then an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here. The C wave didn't make a new low here, but it made a new low on the S&P 500, and the DAX and the S&P pretty much start their trends on the same within the same month. So this particular trend moving up through here, starting on the January low here. So from wave 4 here, we're looking at wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 up here. So this wave 4 here, we're looking at wave 1 and 2. And then 5 waves up to make wave 3, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and that's where our focus is at the moment. Once that's completed here, we'll look at that in a moment. Once that's completed, we'll be looking at this wave 4 moving back, and wave 4 will move back to the wave 4 of one lesser degree here, or we could also look at it in this term here, in wherever that high comes in. We'll be nice to see a new high above here first, and then the 38.2% retracement level there. So yeah, in this space here, and it's also normal too that that we break the trend line through here as well. The wave 2 trend line here with a wave 4 correction is normally breached here, so we'll be looking for that as well. So on the daily chart here, just to drill in somewhat here, and perhaps I'll just put that on 200 there. So on the daily chart, we're looking at from this wave 4, wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3 and 4 here, and we're basically counting 5 waves up here, and it appears that we're nearly done here. So wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then up for 5 here. Yeah, so I think we can just cut through to the hourly chart and pick it up from this wave 4 here. And from this blue wave 4 here, as I just mentioned, we're looking for this move up here. So wave 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here. And it does get a bit messy in this space here. The S&P 500 is going through this as well. So we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then up for wave 3 here with an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's possible that if I can just bring this down a bit, it's possible to have this wave 5 sitting on here, but it really hasn't taken out this top here. Not that I don't mind that, because I don't really I'm not really into spikes. I kind of ignore that whole spike. Yes, they take out your stops and so on, but realistically, that when you look at the main bulk of the trend here, that's just, you know, just a spike. So yeah, but anyway, look, if I was day trading this, which I don't, but if I did, I would be buying any new highs that come in here. So it's possible to have wave 5 in here. It's also possible to have another move up through there as well. So just want to point out that we can trade long above that. You could even bring that down lower here onto 1330 here as well. Even build up from that. If you're going to short it, then you need a reference point. So a reference point is where the market drops through the level, in this case the 13,000, drops through it. You don't chase it. The breakout's important as part of the process, but it's the retest here that's you know, just as important as well, or more important, and to see that fail and then go down. So you're looking for that consider it a reference point here, and then you would short, you know, 1 point below that or thereabouts, or you may even be able to get in earlier. If you're looking at stock or the futures market, then in terms of volume, you would want to see if this moved down through here, then I would know if this was going to break down again here as that was moving up here, because if this moved up here on lower volume than it did on the way down, then I know that the buying is weak, and then it would roll over from that point. So you can get into it earlier. I just sort of keep a broad brush stroke on the idea, because there's a lot of refinement that can be done with all of this, and a lot more entries can be placed in above and below. You can do anything you want, long as you know what you're doing. But if you don't, then you want to swim between the flags, and buying new highs, selling new lows is a safe way to move forward. Also, we just want to have a quick look at the Germany mid-cap as well here. So just on the daily chart here, similar to the DAX and the S&P 500, all the markets that moved off the low in 2016, including BHP and the material sector as well, US banks, DAX, S&P. So they're all in that basic same trend, and we're looking in this case here as wave 1 and 2, and going up into wave 3 here. And in wave 3, we're looking for 5 waves of minor degree of wave 1 and wave 2, 5 waves in the third wave, the fourth wave here, and then the little move up here. I don't think there's much to go in this one here as well. So just on the hourly chart and picking that up from the low. Sorry for the mess here. A bit of a weird count, and you can throw tomatoes at me if you want, because it does really leave an extension in this fifth wave here. But I've just gone with the count, so that's wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, 5 waves in the third wave here, all looking good from that point, in the fourth wave, and then this little guy here just tripped on, so I've got to call that in as wave 5 of 3, then wave 4, and this is a little bit messy to count as well, but all really I was looking for is to taking out this high here. It could certainly move up higher than this as well, but once again you would want this, not that you really trade this, it's just another way of sometimes they use the stock 50, sometimes they use this one here, but anyway, it'll be the arrival, the reaction. So we're going into the first high above the level here, and then if there's a correction in here, then you can use these highs here to move into, to go further up. And if you were moving further up, the next target is the 26,500. Another way to look at this as well is we've got 26,000, then we've got 1, 2 and 3 here, so getting support on top of group 1 here is critical for getting to number 5 here. So in fact I can just move those here and such, clean my mess up. But really just to point out that this is in its later stages also as well. So it just sort of helps confirm that. And moving over to Legoland, the UK here, just on this daily chart here, we're looking at wave 3 here. A, B, C, D, E for triangle pattern, bit odd, took me a while to work that out, but I got it. But then, we got the turn, we got the trade, we're trading up to 7,500. You've probably gotten out, but if not, I've mentioned where to leave the stops. But in this structure moving up here, if I can just point this out in broad brush strokes, is 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and then 5 here. So I've still got more to go here in this market. And if I go to the hourly chart here, I think where we've been working, this is kind of how I was looking at it here. So well, I don't need to, basically wave 1 and 2 here. So I was looking at this here, and I could be wrong, it's just a little bit messy. There's a few things that are not clear, but as there's a difference between being an analyst and a trader. They're two things that need to be mastered separately. When it was first told to me back in the 80s, I said, yeah, sure, Pete, I'm sure, but it is true. So I was looking at this as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down here. Okay, it could probably be counted differently as well, but I don't really care. What I was going to say is that this little high here, if that's breached here, then you need to trade long from that point. It's as simple as that. So we've got from 5 here, we've got 500 rather, we've got 1, 2, 3. That's group 1 here. So that's likely to come back and test on that. So you could actually get that in a little bit earlier. If this does pull back down here, then you can use that reference high here, because this is all of group 1 here now. So the idea would be to glean a small position on here if it pulls back and takes that top out, and then also look to add on the midpoint here, which is the 50, and then we've got just put these in here with time. So we've got 65, 72 and 80 as group 2 here, and of course we can put that in orange for no particular reason. It just sort of helps break things up and pinpoint group 2 a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of it really. The long trade is taking these tops out here. Okay. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Cheers.